RAR.
Check out my beret. Oh.
Okay, here's a spare barrel.
I mean, I can fit more than just these 2 rockets in my backpack.
1 second.
Oh, Einstein, go ahead and join the group. Okay. While you're at it.
Did I say again?
What's your weight?
You go ahead and join the group. Interact.
I can take one more, maybe? Yeah, that's
Is
it.
that good?
Yeah. Can we link these?
Yep,
I don't know.
that's why.
Oh, baby.
Oh,
wanna do
User
some
left your
linking.
channel. User joined your channel.
You can only link them when I'm firing, though. It basically
Legion
just
checking on
fills up my
41.
ammo.
Yeah.
Legion checking on 41-1.
yes, Roscoe, checking out on Channel 41. I've been here the whole time.
Radio.
Lima Charlie.
And now my backpack's full.
Anybody else see that M113 flip?
It's an ambulance
No.
in one room. Don't pay too much attention. When you guys are good with your kits, go ahead and head on over to the southeast, past the medical Black Hawk.
Okay, that's fine.
You're
Because when we spawned in, they
41.
were
Pumping?
trying to make a
They're
truck compete.
trying to reenact
Bugsy, aren't you red?
application.
Did you forget a radio?
We're tapped on the right shoulder.
Hey, stop touching.
I will find you and I will kill you.
Is that a promise?
I have lightning bolts.
Zeus him. Do it now.
In me.
Here we go.
I don't wanna
no!
live.
Hey, White Worm.
He's right there.
Yes.
Look up.
Whoa!
Oh.
I don't know.
Do it to me.
Lima Charlie!
Started with a V.
I think they took it out.
Is anyone
Yeah.
here a medic for vehicles?
Nice.
An engineer, I think that's called?
I am.
Oh, good. Fix it.
Ace
Fix it,
Advanced
Felix.
Engineering.
Is this just like a
No, if
custom
I can
building?
actually
How did you
fix
do
that. Hold
I
on.
have no idea
Are they
how we
respawning?
did that.
Oh,
They're respawning into each other.
Did edit
Oh, just
the,
move them. Oh, wow, yeah.
the,
Oh, here we go. Oh!
Hey,
Uh-oh.
stop.
That almost killed you.
It's gonna respawn because I don't know why.
Whoa!
Stop shooting.
41-2
Hey.
radio check.
Who did that?
Nate.
I was trying to
It's
activate
on
the.
fire.
Oh,
It's,
I
yeah,
killed
it's
it.
activated.
Yeah.
Well, this is just going swimmingly.
It is already.
So,
I
Constance,
like it.
there should be something that you could put down to take control of all the modules in the area, and you could probably delete the
Yes,
respawn
script.
thingy.
That's what I'm trying to do, but
Bugs.
Oh
when
my.
you extend that range
Bugsy,
out
join
too
red.
far,
Oh
it
god.
has
That's a
the
script.
chance to crash
Yo,
the
wait,
server.
41-2.
Script.
Oh
Bada
Einstein, are you on 41-1?
For now.
man, I was diving out of the way.
And hop on 41.1 for me.
Thank you.
You're not
talking to Roscoe.
Got you, Black Box.
Sure I am.
Was Roscoe talking for you?
Check channel.
Radio check.
Gotcha.
Snack!
Lima Charlie.
Legion, is
Alright,
Roscoe
perfect. Those
talking?
are good.
There's no
Yeah, I
snack.
got you.
Roscoe's always talking.
He's talking.
Can you not hear him?
Let me know when you are.
Yeah,
I
that's fun.
can't hear you on
That's
Yeah,
No.
insane.
I'm not talking on the radio.
Copy.
Why?
He's so loud right
What's going
now.
on?
He's talking about how his day was and what he did on the
Alright, everyone
weekend.
stop
Roscoe,
talking.
yell at me.
Are all the squads here?
Alpha is here.
Bravo, are
Waiting
you
on a
here?
comment from
Why is
Bravo.
there smoke?
I don't know. Someone. fast
Somebody's a
again.
child.
Hey, White Worm. Go blue.
Guardian, you're here?
Yes, Guardian's here.
Command, I
Why don't
imagine
we
you're
all
here
put our
somewhere.
weapons on our back?
That'd be a good idea.
No, I want to shoot Black Box.
How are we gonna practice wins?
I'll tag someone in.
That's scary.
When you guys get over here, hit 0 to holster your weapon.
Mr. Bravo should be behind me.
I grabbed my
You're
load
up.
up, changed my helmet. Hold on.
Bugs, are you here?
Is that a rook?
Should be.
That's an
Hey, where are you?
I'm still hanging
MP443.
around. So
You
let's
just
go ahead and get
looked
this
dead.
done.
Alright,
Dead
let's stop
eyes.
talking. Start listening. Welcome. It's Advanced Medical. It's, for you young riflemen, it's honestly not that different. There's just a couple things you gotta keep in mind. I'm gonna run down a quick checklist. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Maybe go on yelling.
Go on yelling.
I am on yelling.
Okay, never mind.
Talk louder.
Talk
Hey,
with your mouth in your mouth, not Canadian.
If you've got all your gear, go ahead and put your weapon up. We don't want any accidents.
Speaking of
You'll be fine.
Speaking of accident.
Don't look behind me. Alright. I'm gonna pretend everyone can hear me now.
Oh
dear.
Get away.
It's not going to.
Gonna maybe delete
It's
that.
a vehicle. It's not gonna explode. Also, it'll respawn, Guthrie. Hence the issue we're having. Alright, step 1. We're gonna talk about vitals. Does everyone know what vitals are?
Like your pulse and heartbeat?
Yeah, like my pulse and my heartbeat. Those are the same
thing.
How about blood pressure?
Good job, Lucid. You got 2 out of 1. Blood pressure is the other one I was looking for. Heart rate and
Respiration.
blood pressure. No, this is Arma. This is a video game. So heart rate and blood pressure for you young riflemen. You guys have 3 levels of heart rate and blood pressure. Normal, which is good, low, which is not good, and high, which is not good. Right now, if everyone interacts with themselves and interacts on their leg or arms or head, you can check pulse and heart rate. You can only check pulse and heart rate on the patient's legs or arms and head. Arms and head, those are the 2. 3 technically, if you're counting both arms.
Shoulders, knees, and toes.
Go ahead and give it a
How
try.
do you get a blood pressure without a blood pressure cuff?
Don't worry
Hands.
about
it.
It's a video
You
game.
just guess. Also, it's a video game. Yeah. Wow, that's good. So, to any of the medics, that means that heart rate is 80, because it's Arma. But you guys don't need to know that. All you need to know is, when you guys are in pain, don't give yourself morphine, because that heart rate will go from normal to low, which is not good. We'll go over that more later. Those are the vitals. If they disappear, that's not good. See a medic. Wounds normally in
there's a tourniquet on the limb.
You can't check your pulse if there's a tourniquet on the limb. Good. Normally in basic medical, when you get shot, wow, you just got shot. Now you have a wound. Let's bandage that up real quick. But in advanced medical, there are different types of wounds, changing depending on how you got that wound. Like avulsions, lacerations, contusions, velocity wounds. And they also come in large, medium, and minor. Those are the 3 things you need to worry about. And they go with the different types of bandages that do different things. Everyone, I imagine, has... I'm gonna pretend like everyone read my rifleman guide and has the recommended rifleman medical loadout.
More or less.
I'm seeing a lot of people shaking their head yes. Like Nate, Rothgen, Mighty Arrows. Oh, he's getting into it. I like it. Alright, I'm gonna pretend like at least one person here didn't read it. So you should have 15 bandages, elastic. Those you're gonna use for your normal and large wounds when you're in combat. Why in combat and not in not combat, you ask? Because elastic bandages heal wounds a lot better than basically everything else, but your wounds are almost guaranteed to reopen after a period of time or movement.
Oh.
That's right, wounds reopen. We'll get more into that later. If it's a minor wound, use one of your 20 times basic field dressing quick clot. That doesn't heal as well as elastic bandages, but it does a lot towards stopping a wound from reopening. Those are the recommended bandages that I suggest you carry. If you feel like a gambler, you can carry less, or more, I don't know. Next you're going to be carrying 2 250ml blood IVs for the medic to give you blood, not for you to give anyone else blood. You can't do that, you're a rifleman. There's 2 blood IVs in your somewhere. You're going to carry 2 morphine auto-injectors. Those are for the medic to give you. Or, if you're feeling brave, you to give you. Under most circumstances, don't worry about morphine. If you get shot and you're in a little bit of pain, don't worry about morphine. It'll cause more problems than it solves. If you give yourself morphine and someone else gives you morphine, you're gonna pass out. If you say, oh, I'm in pain, someone give me morphine, I guarantee 4 people will give you morphine and you will die. What's next on my list? Ah, yes. Epinephrine. Don't worry about that. That's for medics.
Atropine.
Don't worry about that. That's for medics. Say another one.
Bananas.
Tourniquets.
Adenosine. Don't worry about that. That's for medics. Tourniquets. That's a good one. Let's pretend your boy will pick a name.
Pick me.
Black box.
Who said that? Alright.
Me.
Barsik gets shot by a burst of rifle fire. Oh no, his leg's bleeding heavily. I don't think I can bandage that leg fully before he bleeds out. What word that starts with a T should I use?
Tourniquet!
Tourniquet is right, yeah. Apply a
Endazine.
tourniquet to the leg.
Morphine.
Apply a tourniquet to the leg. It will either stop or slow heavily that leg's bleeding, giving you time to bandage fully that leg to stop them from dying. After that, you remove the tourniquet. You don't leave the tourniquet on, it will steadily increase their pain. They'll pass out. Like Repskill said earlier, hold on. Like Repskill said earlier, with a tourniquet on a limb, you will not get a pulse from that limb. It'll say no pulse, it doesn't mean they're dead. It means you're an idiot. If you give someone a tourniquet in a limb and then inject morphine into that limb, it will do nothing. Until you remove that tourniquet.
Give them pain relief once you take the tourniquet off?
Once you take the tourniquet off, yes.
Aside from pain, is there any lasting effects to leaving it on?
You'll pass out eventually, but that's it.
Will you die from it though?
You will pass out. And then you'll stay unconscious.
If I don't know what's been done to a patient, how do I find that out?
That is a good question. Maybe if you were able to interact on their torso and check a triage card, it will tell you everything that person has been given, excluding bandages, since they were last fully healed, meaning mission start or from a personal aid kit from CSAR. That will tell you drugs they were given, any tourniquets that were given. It will not tell you if that tourniquet was removed, so you gotta investigate it yourself. Dayton, you had a question.
With the removal of a tourniquet, does it re-add it to your inventory, or is it a one and done?
It re-adds it to your inventory.
We add it to the inventory of who took the tourniquet off.
Scans alive again.
Whoever takes off the tournament gets the tourniquet in their inventory.
Yes. You run up to the rifleman, you take the tourniquet off, you stick it in your
dude, I'm back.
pocket.
Whispering.
That's
Okay, awesome.
invariable.
Sorry, that was the housing inspection, so we're all good.
What does a surgical kit
I'm whispering. They can't hear.
I can. And I'm teaching. A surgical kit is for medics. Like I mentioned, your wounds will reopen. If your wounds reopen and you bandage them and they reopen again, see a medic. They will give you, or rather, they will use a surgical kit on you, which will stitch up those wounds and stop them from reopening. Like I mentioned about morphine, don't give it to yourself. If you do, it'll lower your heart rate. Anything below 60 BPM will give you an audible heartbeat in your ears, slowing down as your heartbeat slows. If you hear an audible heartbeat, see a medic. They'll either tell you to not give yourself any more morphine, or they'll give you something else. If you hear an audible heartbeat, see a medic. If your wounds reopen more than twice, see a medic. That's something else on my list. Yes, the pain will flash in whatever you have your settings set to, chromatic aberration or white flashing. If that's actually stopping you from seeing or shooting, that's when you take morphine. Not before. That's a waste of medical supplies. Any questions so far?
So, there's no more overriding of the settings for the pain thing from the server side?
Not that I know of. Constance?
Server will enforce the settings that we.
Oh, I have one black box.
Yes. What's your question?
What does the personal aid kit do?
The personal aid kit, given only by CSAR when you are stable, fully heals you. Like all of you right now should be fully healed. Your heartbeat's at 80, your blood pressure's 120 over
80.
70.
Number.
80.
number. Don't worry about
120 over
that.
80.
Don't worry about it. You don't need to know that. And you're not injured. You're not bleeding. You're not in pain. Awesome. That is what the personal aid kit will reset you to. Completely default health. It'll wipe your triage card. That can be used in a medical vehicle, like that Hemet over there, that Blackhawk right there, that M113, that MRAP, or near a medical facility, like these 2 tents on our sides.
Look for medical
Hey,
insight.
Black Box, I got another question.
Yes.
What if I go down from a gunshot wound? How will people find me?
Keep an eye on your fire team. Keep them close.
Okay.
That's just like
Simple.
general.
That's about it. Yeah. It's not even like a medical thing. If you're standing beside a guy and you hear a snap and a thwack and you don't go unconscious, look to your side.
Good question.
Yes.
Are the basic bandages useless now?
No, basic bandages are not useless. That's a good question. So, basic bandages are now what are considered field dressings. They heal wounds a little less effectively than elastic bandages, so you don't really want to use them for heavy wounds. But they stop the wound from reopening better than elastic bandages do. So it's kind of a situational thing. If you're out of combat and you want to be like really lightweight and only carry exactly the bandages you need for exactly the wounds you need, carry some field dressings, or rather, basic bandages. Packing bandages.
Is that bandage
don't
floating
take
in the
those.
air?
They're actually garbage. They heal worse than elastic bandages do, and they maintain wounds exactly as well as an elastic bandage does, which is not good.
Sorry, what's garbage?
Packing bandages. Grail, for wounds that reopen a lot, you're either going to want to use Quick Clot if it's a small wound, or the field dressing is also a good choice. Or a medic with a surgical kit. Does everyone feel comfortable that they can heal an injured guy?
Mostly.
Alright. If you weren't paying attention, say your name.
If you have any questions.
If you have any questions, say your name.
C. Young.
Young, you have a question.
What's the different type of wounds, and what do they mean?
The different types of wounds, I'm going to go into that, not because it really matters for riflemen, but because it's just kind of fun to know. I'm going to look at my medical How to Be a Medic guide here. That's also in your email if you want to read it.
That would be guide number 2.
There's a link
That would
in
be
the
guide number
TeamSpeak chat.
I suppose I could do that. So,
I'll do
yeah, alphabetically, you got abrasions. Those aren't a big deal. That's when you slide. That's like a skinned knee. Those aren't really going to bleed too much. They might cause some light pain. Avulsions are one of the worst wounds. That's when you get like hit by an RPG. There's now a chunk of flesh missing. That's not good. Bandage that. See a medic. Contusion, that's just a fancy word for a bruise. It'll cause you pain. It won't bleed at all. Crush, that's when you fall off a building or get hit by a car. Or fall off a car, get hit by a building. Depending on which way gravity works that day. Those aren't really too important. Bandage them if they happen. Cuts, same thing. That'll happen if you get like hit by backblast. They're gonna bleed, they're gonna cause some pain. Not a big deal. Laceration.
Deep cut.
Yeah, basically it's just a deep cut. I'm just trying to remember what causes them. Knives. Those aren't an armor. Shrapnel. That's right. Velocity wounds. Those are the big ones. Does anyone know what causes a velocity wound?
Velociraptors?
Velociraptors, obviously.
Velociraptors moving very quickly cause velocity
Out of a gun.
wounds. Yep. Very tiny velociraptors that are loaded into your gun.
Tiny pebbles.
Are they shaped like bullets?
Sometimes. Listen, whether we wanted to or not, we've stepped into a war with the Cabal on Mars. Those are really the important wounds. Like I said, all you need to worry about is minor, medium, large wounds. Use Quick Clot on minor wounds. It'll heal them okay and stop them from reopening more. Use elastic bandages on medium or large wounds. If someone's bleeding a lot, use a tourniquet on them. If someone's bleeding a lot, call 2 people over to help you. Many questions.
Is insta-death on?
Yep.
Where if you get
Why,
shot with
you
a
may
big
ask?
enough caliber?
Why, you may ask?
I ask why.
You didn't say anything.
Because if it is, then like if we get shot in the head with like say a 50 cal or something like that,
Yeah,
we'd
if you get
instantly
shot
die.
in the head with
Yeah,
a 50
you're
cal, you'll die. If you get shot in the plate with a rifle, you'll go unconscious. You'll be fine. They can get you back up. We were messing around with it yesterday. Legion put a grenade in our fire team's pocket, and we all survived. So it's not too big a deal. And stand by. After the end of the night, we're gonna go around asking for opinions. Give your honest opinion. If you feel like it was too hard or too easy, let us know. If you like advanced medical or don't, let us know. If you have any suggestions, let us know. Duke.
Yeah, the question about the server-side overrides for the pain. Didn't get an answer for that.
Let me check.
Shoot me and I'll tell you what it does.
It should not override or specified
You volunteered.
thing.
Yeah,
So
I'd prefer
flashing
to use the
colors
white
and
flash.
It currently enforces chromatic aberration.
I get headaches from that.
You can change that like right now.
That's
Any
all
other
good.
questions? No questions.
How would I find what's wrong with a person?
Look at them. Interact with them. Actually, what we're gonna do, I need a volunteer.
I volunteer. That's tribute.
I'll volunteer since I'm in the
Alright.
CSR slot.
Too many people volunteered. Everyone pick a number between 1 and 10.
7.
Alright, Rob Skill, you said a number first. Come here.
Nice.
Everyone go away.
Back up, gather around so you
Back
can
up, Lucid.
listen in here.
Get out of my face.
You heard his feelings.
Okay. Alright. Rob Skill, you're a hero for our country. Alright. So, if someone, Rob Dog, come here, interact on Rob Skill's left leg.
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
Interact on his left leg in the top. What does it tell you?
It's bleeding, in pain, 1x large avulsion.
It's a large wound. What would you use on a large wound?
Elastic bandage.
Yes,
Or
good.
a field dressing.
Yeah, we're not in combat, so it really doesn't matter. I'm going to put an elastic bandage on this.
Or we could just put another bullet in him.
Or, also, keep an eye on the top left. If he has an active bleeding wound, the limb that is bleeding on the top left of your screen when you interact with his limb will be red. When it is bandaged, but still has a chance to open, it will be blue. White means there are no injuries. Rough Skill, do you feel okay? Blue means it's a bandaged wound. It could still reopen, but it's not bleeding.
I'm in pain.
Fate.
Yes.
As far as reopening, is there anything that exacerbates that if you're running, moving around?
We believe it to be moving around. We don't really have any proof. Don't get shot more.
That's an option. And exacerbate means make worse.
Yes, that's a good question, Shane.
I don't believe you can make the wound worse.
Large word.
Stage reopen. Is what the
Well, but
context is.
increase your chances of reopening, maybe.
Yeah.
You can shoot it again.
You want me
Alright,
to do
so-
a couple laps, see if it opens?
Yeah, just go do laps. I'm gonna take more
For
questions.
science.
Does anyone have any more questions while Rubskill does some PT? Any questions about what we just did? Any questions about how to heal someone?
Yeah,
Yes, Duke,
why isn't Rob wearing his PT belt?
I think he lost it. Duke, you had a question? You said something?
Yeah, what if you put
Why
the
you
wrong
got
kind of
shot?
bandage on?
It'll still bandage the wound. Like they're not gonna die because you put the wrong type of bandage on. It might just take one more bandage, or it might reopen sooner.
It'd be less effective.
Yeah.
Right. Cool.
Alright, all of you feel comfortable that if someone went unconscious near you, you could get them back up. Being unconscious, by the way, still pulls from the same triggers, at least for you guys, as basic medical. If they're bleeding a lot, they're going to be unconscious. If they're in pain, or if they're in a lot of pain, they're going to be unconscious. If they've lost a lot of blood, they'll be unconscious.
Hypovolemic.
Einstein.
Yes.
What if they don't have like a heart rate, but they still have blood pressure?
If they don't, that's a good question, Einstein. If they don't have a heart rate but still have blood pressure, then someone's made a mistake and they're in cardiac arrest. Their heart rate either went too high or too low, and entered fibrillation. Because ACE doesn't have defibrillators, that's what that means. We're gonna pretend you're one person that just came across a guy. He's unconscious. He's not bleeding at all. No injuries. Just he has no pulse, but still has blood pressure. First, you're going to call a medic. Then you're going to give him CPR. Then you're going to wait, and you're going to keep giving him CPR until the medic arrives.
Can we induce this?
What's that?
Can we induce it so we see what happens?
Probably.
I volunteer.
Like if you overload yourself with epinephrine, you will go into cardiac arrest.
If you overload yourself with epinephrine, put your gun away, Lucid.
It's a delayed reaction.
Two things will happen. Either you'll OD yourself on epinephrine and die, or your heart rate will go too high, meaning above 160 or 200, I forget what the number is, and you'll enter cardiac arrest. So everyone back away. I don't want to accidentally OD Robskill, who's so graciously volunteered his body for science. Again. I'm going to give you, Robskill, 1 morphine. I'm going to check your pulse twice. Right now your pulse is 75. That's a bit lower than normal. That's survivable. That's good. It'll go back up eventually. Now, because the morphine is working its way through his system.
69.
68. His heart rate is lowering. I'm gonna check again. 62. It's gonna keep going down. Robskill, do you hear an audible heartbeat?
Not. It just started. Yes.
Because your heart rate just went below 60. Someone who's not a medic. Rob, check Robskill's pulse.
It says weak.
It says a weak pulse. Oh no, that's not good. He should call a medic, or wait and it will stabilize over time. So I'm a medic, but I don't know what I'm doing. I think that means he's in pain. I'm going to give him more morphine.
Now he may pass out.
He hopefully does.
52.
Let's watch.
Your pulse is still going down.
46.
Morphine does it over time. It doesn't do it straight away.
Yeah.
Black Box, I don't feel so good.
41.
Don't turn to dust.
What? What are you talking about?
35.
User left your channel.
For any of you Sith, meaning men of absolutes,
29.
if your heart rate goes below 20, that's the number. That's the secret number.
23.
It is super
Good night, what's happening?
There you go.
Oh no!
No heart rate.
Good night, sweet prince.
Nice snap.
He's in cardiac arrest. I need a volunteer. Jack,
Heart attack!
interact with his torso, begin providing CPR.
I would love to give him mouth-to-mouth, don't worry.
He's pretty cute. Not yet. Well, right now, get on the radio. Get on the radio, tell Platoon what's happening, get
Call a
CSAR on
9-line.
their way. Yeah, tell him exactly where we are. I'm gonna check his pulse right now. No heart rate. Oh no, he's dead, but I'm an experienced medic. I'm gonna check his blood pressure as well. He still has a blood pressure of 69/46. That's a low.
Continuing CPR.
Continue CPR. I'm going to be a medic. I will inject him with some epinephrine. That will ideally raise his heart rate back above the critical point of 20.
Now, Black Box, I did find out one thing.
What's
when
that?
it comes to like an epinephrine
Continuing CPR.
overdose, you cannot give, obviously, epinephrine to the patient to wake him back up.
Actually,
It did not work on Ariston.
last night we gave, I think it was Legion, it might have been Legion or Einstein, we gave him 4 epinephrine, put him into cardiac arrest, and then gave him another epinephrine and he woke up.
I was like, because
Why does my mouth
Ariston,
taste fishy?
I was like, Ariston
I used the
OD'd
wrong
on.
lips, I'm sorry about
Jack's been on the roads.
That's disgusting.
Alright, Robskill, are you alright? Do you need a medic?
I still hear a heart rate.
That's alright, it'll stabilize over time. That's how you pull someone out of cardiac arrest. You guys as riflemen, CPR, call a medic, they'll give him epinephrine. Any questions about anything?
Giving him fluids as an actual medic do anything towards
Yes,
low blood
if-
pressure? Okay.
If someone's lost blood, their blood pressure will drop. we'll pretend their heart rate is a perfect 80, and they've lost some blood. Oh no, their blood pressure's like 90 over something. That makes sense.
3.
90 over 3. That's really good. Medic will come give him some blood. That blood pressure will go back up.
I'm saying in like the form of the cardiac arrest. Does it do anything towards that?
Oh, not that I know about.
Is it possible to kill someone by giving them too much blood, their blood pressure reaches too high, and their blood capillaries explode?
No, we tried that last night as well. It'll either take more time than we have, or not at all.
Or vampires.
Yeah, something like that. 6 liters going into you at the same time. Hold on. So cardiac arrest can be induced by a lot of things.
Can combat induce it?
Not normal combat. If you get shot and then bandage, and then shot and bandage, then medic, then bandage, then shot, then bandaged again. Maybe. The following things will put someone in cardiac arrest. A heart rate below 20. That's what Rubskull just did. A heart rate above 200. That's what happens when you get too much epinephrine. When the systolic blood pressure is above 260, which means yes. If you give someone a lot of blood and raise their blood pressure, they will enter cardiac arrest. They won't explode, they'll enter cardiac arrest.
260. How do you fix that?
260. Lower their heart rate.
Bleed a little bit.
Yeah, lower their heart rate or bleed them. Yeah, lower their heart rate. Morphine does that. Adenosine and atropine will do that as well. Adenosine is why I tell medics, or rather, this reason is why I tell medics to carry adenosine to lower the heart rate. By the way, 260 is really high. The standard systolic blood pressure is 120.
260, you're risking like a vein exploding.
Yeah. Diastolic, by the way, is the second number, 120 over 80. Systolic is 120. Diastolic is 80. That is when you're during a beat. That's the first number. Between beats, that's the second number. When the diastolic blood pressure is below 40, and heart rate's above 190. That's you've got super high blood pressure and super high heart rate, super low blood pressure. And when your blood pressure is just normal, but your heart rate's above 150. Not good.
When you need...
Basically a combination of the two. Hello.
When you're in B-fib.
Can I take something to lower my pulse to, be good at sniping? That's the question.
Lay down and take a break.
You can help you with
breathing exercises.
Damn it.
Developing skills.
Right. Any other questions? That's really all you guys need to know. That's more than you guys need to know. As a rifleman.
Yeah. Do we have a practical?
We absolutely do. Yep. Alright, everyone, Rusk will probably kill yourself and respawn. Everyone, make sure you got good gear, make sure you got bandages, some morphine, some blood. We're gonna go shoot some people.
Take about a minute, grab your stuff, and then come right back here.
Man
down. Nobody wants to touch you.
I was like, hey, black box.
Yep.
Do I need a partner since I'm running a CSAR?
I suggest you do it now.
I have a good general understanding of how it works, so.
You want to be my partner?